is going to represent you to represent him in government. God is going to call you to represent him in banking. God is going to call you to represent him in the classroom as a teacher or a lecturer. God is going to call you in different places. And we must always remember that in whichever place you find yourself, you are a representative of God. You are the voice of God. You are the salt and the light of the kingdom of God. The person who is standing up is a person who is going to say, no, that is what the world says, that's what everybody says, but not me. I am going to stand up for my country, and I'm going to stand up for my God.
One member of our the forum said, one day he went to a certain office and asked, is there any Christian who works here? Because all that he was hearing is, kuja utuone, kuja utuone. That message that tells you it's not just you're coming, please come equipped in a certain way. So he walked into a place and asked, is there any Christian here? Because if everybody is asking, then where are the Christians?
So Kenya today remains deeply divided. We have a large youth population that doesn't seem to have values or right values because we have not exhibited those values that we all espouse.
Well, I'm concerned with the political climate at the moment, rather heated, and everybody is very concerned. Will this deteriorate into the situation that we are in 2008? Is that the way that it is going?
The only key issue that if we sorted out will sort out the other issues is issues of ethics and integrity, and the flip side of it is issues of corruption.
The rate at which we are destroying our environment, the forest that we have, the water towers we have in this country is alarming.
When I look at Kenya today, I see a country that's old in terms of we're over 50 years. We should be much further along the development line than we are. We should have made some bridges in terms of reducing the poverty levels, dealing with societal vices like corruption and division along ethnic lines, and the capacity for us to engage without resorting to violence.
The society runs around trust. So without trust, nothing can move. So if that trust is breached, is abused, then it does not only result in corruption, but it destroys the ethical and trust fabric of the society. Between 30 to 33% of the resources cannot be properly accounted for, which means that we are spending money, but we are not keen to show how we have spent that money. And a significant amount of that money goes to corruption or is wasted.
So our young people now seem to think that corruption is fine as long as you don't get caught.
The end result of this, of course, is that if we don't deal with it, it will destroy this country.
And of course, a major concern is related to the elections next year. It's partly this. Will this election be peaceful? Will it be credible? Will it be free?
We are doing over 67% unemployment rate. The last figures do show that. We are also looking at global figures where we realize that 1% of fresh water is what is available for drinking today. In the year 2009, when we did our last census, it showed that we have 8.7 million households in this country. 5.6 million households out of the 8.7 were using firewood for their household energy daily basis. Previously, we have been destroying 5.6 million trees every single day. Today it is more because the number of people has increased, the number of households has increased in our country. And therefore, if this is not alarming, that we are destroying over 5.6 million trees, 3-year-old trees every single day, I don't know if the church cannot wake up, who will wake up?
And the key issue of concern is that the Christian, who is supposed to be the salt and light, seems to have been sucked into this recurring cycle of issues and challenges, and is not making a difference. So there's a new normal, even for the Christian, to just be part of the world.
If you are really concerned, don't just talk, but see what action you can undertake.
First, it is time for us to stand up individually and be counted.
I believe that we must all wake up and stand to be counted.
And it has not been easy, but something has to be done with the issues that our people face.
I totally hear you. I think where I'm coming from with this question, I was reading one of the statements, I think it's from Joshua, the chair of the committee, and he was talking about how if you look at the country, there are all these problems that instead of blaming the politicians and looking for where the problem is, we'll ask the same way if you go into a dark room and say, where's the light? And you turn it on. We are referred to as the light of the world, are we not? So we are saying politicians, basically the regular type of politicians are not doing this job. What is that step we need to make sure that the people who truly believe in God, who believe that the right things need to be done, because those things you're talking about are underpinned by a genuine compassion, care for the people, right? So why is it so difficult for Isaac Mwaura here to be voted in because of those things that he stands for and get the backing of people who believe like he does, other than falling back to their ethnic or whatever other grounds that might be there? Prof.
Again, because I want to just give a small model. If you look at the Kenyan politics, it's like a triangle. Right at the top is a very small clique of the ruling class that essentially doesn't want change. Then in the middle are the professional and the middle class, fairly well educated, but they are cowards. They don't move, they don't do anything. And therefore they don't get involved, and they think that, oh, if I have a house in Lavington and a car and a wife and a dog and children, finish. Now, and then down here, Joe, down here we have the masses. The Kenyan masses have been impoverished. They have been marginalized for so many years. So they have essentially no power to choose. So basically, we see the politicians coming, bypassing the middle class, and coming down here and dividing the masses into blocks.